Well, welcome back, everyone, to another episode of Burning Cinema, the show where nostalgia has a second chance and we revisit the movies that shaped our past. If you've been with us before, then you know how it all works. If not, then get ready to dive headfirst into our piece of cinema history. I'm your host, Ross, and joining me, as always, is my good friend and co-host, Tom. Tom, we continue our theme as it is the last episode of our franchise fatigue. How fatigued are you?
It's been a bit of a mixed bag so far, hasn't it?
It has. We opened up with some Fast and Furious, didn't we? Didn't do too bad, but wasn't great.
It got one flame. I think that's pretty poor.
I mean, it wasn't. Yeah, okay. I'll take that back then. Yeah, it was. We didn't start off well then.
It made it to 7 films, which is not bad going before we started to go a bit fed up now.
Yeah, so it went a bit wonky and went off-road. Yeah, we had X-Men, which was a surprise hit with us, didn't we? It left us wanting more, which is nice. And then last episode, we dealt with a bit of a fourth instalment of the good old Transformers franchise. And again, another one flame. Can it get any worse? That's the question, isn't it? I mean, I'm fatigued already with just this theme, never mind anything else. But we move on to what is going to be today, and it is obviously my turn to give you something, Tom, and obviously again another fourth instalment like our Transformers in a franchise, not quite the original Batman movie franchise as we remember it. I'm going to give you Batman and Robin.
My name is Freeze. Learn it well, for it's the chilling sound of your doom.
This is the way the world could end.
Please, show some mercy.
With ice. With a kiss.
With venom. I probably should have mentioned this. I'm poison. Poison ivy.
And the only man who can stop them.
Hi, Freeze. I'm Batman.
Can't do it alone.
So, Batman and Robin, as the title called. I think we know what we're getting with this, don't we? I hope we do, because it literally says it on the ticket, doesn't it?
He's there as
we
well.
did get Batman and Robin before in the previous one, which was
Batman Forever.
Yeah, directed by Joel Schumacher himself. He's returned again for this one, hasn't he?
He has indeed.
And just so we can understand, I'm going to give you a little bit of a history lesson, Tom, and so our listeners, just in case we're not really quite up on where this fits into the Batman, I would say, legacy. So way back in 1989, a little film called Batman, starring Michael Keaton as the Batman and Jack Nicholson as the Joker, arrived in the cinemas with huge success. And at that time, you couldn't move for merchandise for this one. I've got to tell you, it was big. If you were a young lad like I was in 1989, merchandise everywhere. I had, get ready for it, a Batman Filofax. We're talking, when I say we've stamped a Batman stamp on every... Oh, you're looking at me like you don't know what a Filofax is, aren't you?
I don't.
Oh, my God! Good Lord! Right, so a Filofax... Right, so before the invention... Oh, God, I sound ancient. So before the invention of phones and smartphones and how you organised your life, it was basically like, imagine walking around with a diary.
Yeah.
And in this Filofax would have a calendar, notes... meetings, you could pencil in everything. Basically, yuppies of the 80s used to carry them around all the time. It was just showing that. And it's basically a small little A5 book. That's what it would be. We'd call it a jotter or a notebook now. You'd write your notes down. However, this was more like a mini ring binder, and you could buy all the inserts to go in there. How have we got to this in the podcast, right, where we're now talking about Filofaxes? Wow. Moving on. Anyway, the point being, the merchandise was off the scale, it was. Absolutely. You couldn't move for a Batman symbol. And it obviously done very good money, one of the biggest films of that year. And it actually spawned the first ever 12. Did you know that? 12 certificate rating, yeah, because they were really worried that in America they had PG-13. And with Batman, they were worried that, kids aren't going to be able to go and watch Batman. On their own. So the British Board of Film Classification came up with the 12, which we still have now.
We do
and
indeed.
Batman was the first one in Britain to have that. Small little interesting fact there. And obviously it was so successful that we then got a second one. So Michael Keaton, he returns as Batman. He came in as the imaginary titled Batman Returns in 1992. More villains this time, as we got the Penguin by Danny DeVito, and we also got Catwoman, played by Michelle Pfeiffer. Still in our history lesson as well, we end up in 1995, where we take a little bit of a sort of a strange sidestep we do to the Batman franchise with no Michael Keaton coming back for the third entry, which was Batman Forever, and we get Mr. Val Kilmer, don't we? Putting his cape on and putting the boots on. I mean, what could go wrong? As I say. However, though, I think as a person growing up with this, yeah, I have bad memories about Batman Forever. Oh. And bearing in mind, we're not even doing Batman Forever. No, we're doing Batman and Robin, which comes after this. So, very different take on it. I think those that are out there that are Batman fans will understand and know, those that have seen it, that if you watch Batman Forever, it is a very different film than what Batman Returns and the original Batman is. For a start, Tim Burton, I think, is only executive producer on it, where Joel Schumacher took the reins of the director and the whole direction of how it went. Some people say it's not bad. I think they like Val Kilmer. But they weren't going to stop there, were they?
Nope.
They were going to keep going. And
must continue.
This franchise, as with all franchises we've been talking about, goes for its fourth outing. And we get a few returning characters. So we are led to believe it is still in the same universe. And I think, on that note, shall we deep dive in this?
We shall.
So, like we said before, we're in a very different film, aren't we? I think those...
I didn't even know what film we were watching when we started. Because the first things I see is the bat nipple and the bat arse.
Oh, yeah.
What the hell is that?
Yeah, we're kitting up, aren't we? Well, yeah. We're putting the suit on, and we're getting... For those that remember it, or those that have not seen it, it's a montage, isn't it, of various different
body
gloves
parts
being put on, shoes and boots, and... Yeah, we have bat nipples, which is
He
very
has nipples on his
bat
uniform.
suit.
I don't know why we needed like the shot of his and Robin's arse.
No.
when they're getting kitted out. That was. But it's not meant like you look at the films. It's not meant to be funny. And at that point, I was like, I'm not sure what we're getting. I remember watching this as a kid. I just didn't remember any of that. And you know what? I wish it stayed that way.
It's now burnt into your retinas.
It is.
So we get an all-star cast in this at all. I say all-star cast. I mean, they're big hitters, aren't we, that we've got here. It's almost like, even from the Batman Forever, it was like who was famous at that time, isn't it? If you look at Batman Forever, and we're going to keep quoting these backwards and forwards, but Batman Forever had Jim Carrey, didn't it? And it had Tommy Lee Jones. Yeah. They were very in at that time, weren't they? It was almost like you couldn't walk past a film without, you know, Jim Carrey or Tommy Lee Jones being in it. So it was kind of like, well, we'll just put them in this Batman film. And it's very much, they decided to carry on that swagger, didn't they? In this, we get Arnold Schwarzenegger. That's it, the man himself, the Terminator.
What a big name that is.
I mean, that's huge. We know how big it is because he gets credited first.
He does.
Before George Clooney.
Yeah, well, George Clooney wasn't quite so big in 1997, was he?
I think he'd come off ER, hadn't he? He was on a TV series, wasn't he? But he was doing very well. He was very wasn't he? He was. Yeah. But yeah, Claudie?
Jean-Claude Van Damme!
Claude Van Damme. Oh, Jean-Claude Van Damme would be awesome, wouldn't he, in it? Oh, wouldn't he? He'd be doing flips and kicks and all sorts. He wouldn't have to do his own stunts. We can only but wish. Anyway, but we mentioned the suit, and we're thrown straight into the action, really, with Mr. Freeze, who's clearly overshadowing everybody in it, and he's doing some sort of theft, isn't he, or something, isn't he?
Yeah, he's gone to the museum to steal a big diamond, hasn't he? He's gone to the antiquities section, and so Batman and Robin have to go and stop him. And I mean, God, this dialogue is terrible.
God,
it's so poor.
Anger.
I mean, why has Batman got neon wheels on his Batmobile? That seems rather against the whole sneaky Batman sort of side of things. And Robin, the first bit of dialogue we get is Robin moaning that he wants a car and not a motorbike.
I want a car. Chicks dig the car.
This is why Superman works alone.
Shut up, you little prick. Nobody cares. Like, it's so bad. The dialogue in that bit alone made I was just sat there stunned. This is like the first few minutes of the film and I was just gone, what is this? I don't know what this is. This is.
I remember this very well, and as a big, sort of DC fan of Batman, Superman, and Wonder Woman, all the characters and everything. So this hurts really badly. It does sometimes that you get there, but I'm trying to watch it, even at this point, and remembering that, like, okay, this is a very different film. Forget Batman. Forget Batman Returns. Hell, forget Batman Forever.
This is something else.
This is on a new level.
But that bit of dialogue set up the rest of the film in terms of the dialogue. Garbage. The dialogue is a mixture of just one-liners and puns and cheese.
If we talk about some of the dialogue all the way through this film, isn't it? You are right. It's one-liners. It's very quick quips, isn't it? That are being said. It's almost something your uncle on a Sunday afternoon would like sort of say, isn't it?
When he's like 5 pints deep.
Yeah. and
just talking shit again, are you?
And so that's the things that he would say, isn't it? That
it is.
And you go, oh, very funny, and we would laugh to humour him.
Oh yeah, it's always
and I feel that we're now sat in the audience watching this, and they're sort of cracking these, and they're not even funny. They're like dad jokes of. They're not even that. I don't think
jokes.
They're not even a joke. They're just. Oh, this sounds a bit witty. Why doesn't he say this for no reason?
This script being signed off was a joke. But I'm going to say as well, costume design. It's a good job Robin's wearing that eye mask because I had no idea who he was.
Yeah, that's covered him up, hasn't it?
Yeah,
so Chris O'Donnell is a returning character, isn't he? Because he was Robin.
He's come back
in Batman Forever. He's rocked up for the job, hasn't he?
And they're now rocking up to go and stop Mr. Freeze from. I'm going to say again, this goes back to our talk from National Treasure. How many security guards does this museum have?
There was a lot. There was a force to be reckoned with, weren't there?
It had its own army. Bear in mind, this is a night shift as well. Army of security guards. In the UK, a museum. I've yet to see one with a security guard.
One usher, probably, just walking around randomly.
Yeah.
Who other duties are cleaning. Yeah. So it would be like, no, not armed guards. But, okay, I suppose I sit there and I look at it and I think... Am I mistaken? Am I thinking that they're showing this to a younger audience, a very younger audience? And is it a spoof? Is it something that, like, we're mocking?
A spoof is a good word because I can't... It doesn't appear to appeal towards audiences because the dialogue is so simple and... for lack of better words.
I've even got a word for it.
But then it doesn't appear to appeal to children because it's just, like, so weird and doesn't make any sense and it's kind of freaky. Like, in a weird way, it's kind of like a freaky film.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't appeal to children, so I can only assume that this was a spoof.
And that's the thing, the quips and the one-liners are literally flying at breakneck speed, aren't they? In and out.
Yeah.
We're stopping the action to say them as well. One of them I wrote down here is, because they're in the museum, I think there's a vase or something that gets knocked off a pillar, isn't there? And someone goes and grabs it. And then I think Batman says, you break it, you buy it.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking. That probably describes where we're at in the language that's being used in this film and how it's being portrayed, is that we're just all joking and there's no threat here.
But equally, I think maybe I'm slightly biased from having watched the Dark Knight trilogy, but I was just saying George Clooney in this, not only is the acting terrible, like how he ever became a big Hollywood star and leading after this I don't know, because this film is awful. In terms of the acting,
yeah,
it's really poor. He does not have a good Batman voice. It's just the same voice.
Yeah, and that's George Clooney in the Batsuit.
Yeah,
yeah, and he's not even trying. He doesn't even look interested.
So I watched most of this with my friend because they gave up in the end, and they
lost
said
the will to live.
They made a very good point of saying it just looks like none of them have been directed at all. They're just saying stuff on the script and hoping for the best.
It does look like that, doesn't it? It looks like something that the cat's dragged in. That's what it looks like. But yeah, it's without, I mean, God, we're racing at this already, aren't we?
There's another bit in there that annoys me, and this goes back to my whole dinosaur thing that I got annoyed at in Transformers. Is at one point Mr. Freeze is there, sort of freezing things over, and he goes, because there's a dinosaur in the museum in there that he freezes. He goes, "What brought about the age of the dinosaurs, or the extinction of the dinosaurs? The Ice Age." It's like, no, it wasn't. It wasn't at all. It was a meteorite.
Yeah.
Shut up. You're meant to be a scientist, man.
Yeah, this sounds funny. This is what people say. This is what will get them to say. There you go. That's our introduction to Arnold Schwarzenegger, who was probably paid an absolute fortune to be in this film. But we get...
I mean, he's having fun, though, isn't he? You can't deny.
I mean,
he's having the time of his life.
some of the characters do, don't they? They look like they're having a bit of a laugh at it all and everything. And we're going to be introduced to a succession of many different characters as well, aren't we? And we're going to be introduced to Bane, aren't we? Who's played by a WCW wrestler. And there's some sort of body horror Frankenstein birth with him, isn't there? You know,
it was
which is a bit weird. He's like a very scrawny man, and then becomes the actor who's playing him, isn't it? Who obviously is built like pretty big, isn't he? I don't like that. Whilst he looks a little bit like Bane from the comic book, it's not each one of these is not a very good incarnation of the character. I think and so already we're taken out of the movie. I think anyone who's a Batman fan is really struggling with this, because if you grew up on the comic books, hell, even if you grew up with the Adam West stuff, I think you'll be disappointed, to be honest with you. You know, the old stuff.
That's saying a lot.
I'd say, you would even be, because at least, Adam West was putting 100% into it, wasn't he?
Oh, he was, yeah.
And Burt Ward playing Robin in the original 60s TV show, okay, now it looks a little bit cheesy, but they were working their backsides off.
Yeah, and even then it had a bit of a style, because it was designed visually to look like a comic book.
And it was a serial. It was like, we need a quick character, a quick problem. We have to get over it fairly quick. And, and it fell into that same nice little sort of episodic situation, didn't it, each time? And it worked. And that's probably why people kind of weirdly watch it now, and go, well, I'll just leave it on and let it play in. It's nice. So we get that. We also get Uma Thurman, we do, who she was very much in. We talk about, actors and actresses who are in at the moment. Certainly, we've got Arnold Schwarzenegger. He was always in, and he really, wasn't he? I mean, he hadn't done... Yeah, it wasn't that long ago. He'd done Terminator 2, really, a few years ago, hadn't he? So he was still fresh. He was still cracking out sort of big numbers. So we've got him. We've got Uma Thurman. She plays Poison Ivy, which is a weird... I kind of get it why she would have been chosen. But bearing in mind where she's just come from, Pulp Fiction. What a powerhouse of a movie.
Iconic.
Iconic character, iconic film, brilliant film. And... very well acted all the way through by all elements of it. That's direction. That's how you direct it. Yeah. And then don't get me wrong. I know they all do like little. They all have their little side missions, don't they? Actors and go off and go and do something. I get it and that, but it fell in that trap of like Batman Forever, the previous installment, like the Jim Carreys and Tommy Lee Jones. We're just recruiting the people who are very in at the moment, very bankable.
And they just hit the old cliche with Poison Ivy, didn't they? And this thing annoys me, is that old way of sort of saying, oh, she's unattractive before, but then she has her transformation, she's stunning afterwards. So we're like, okay, well, let's put her in some raggedy clothes and some glasses. And
a fringe.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then she's going to come out and she's all of a sudden going to not need glasses and not have a fringe and all that. And it's just like, it's rubbish. Make her more... It's an amazing character... with phenomenally unique powers, a powerful woman, and this is what we're reducing her to? No, not a fan of that.
They do this thing where they go, oh, she's ugly, isn't it? And like you said, the fringe, the thick glasses, and everything like that. And this is a thing that suffers in the 90s, and, well, lots of films really for me, is that they go, oh, she's really ugly, and then she has all these powers or something like that, and then she turns really pretty. Because she's got all these powers, all this potion, or whatever it does, and you go, yeah, I mean, cool. To be a woman back in the 90s and 80s and that, they must have struggled, to be honest with you, because
it's horrible.
Looking at her in this, even as a nerd scientist, she looks fine. Absolutely fine. There's nothing wrong with her whatsoever. It falls into that thing where, and I'm gonna go off the beaten track with this, because this film is making me do it.
This is a dangerous move.
No. Bruce Almighty. Right? The film with
a less related film.
the film with Jim Carrey in, right?
I'm aware of it.
You're aware of it, and you're aware that like he's down on his luck,
Yes.
and he's thinking, "What a miserable life I lead." He goes home to Jennifer Aniston, right? Not bad on the eye at the end of the day, right? His life is so rubbish. Really? And in it, her character loves him to death.
She does adore him in it, doesn't she?
Yeah. And you go, but it's Jennifer Aniston, right? And he wishes for her to be a little bit better. You just, oh, what? And this reminded me of that film where you go, yeah, always every time, innit?
We're always picking flaws, aren't we, that aren't there? I see what the point is now, because you went so far away from the point
Yeah.
to bring it back.
Did you see where I come to?
Yes.
Where I've landed, yeah. It's that this, I've seen it time and time and time and time again. You know, every single one. You go, oh, she's a nerd. She's not in this. Oh, she wears all these spectacles and got spots and that.
I think it sort of fits in, doesn't it? With the whole way. This is probably getting very.
We're getting quite deep here, I think.
This is getting very deep. It's the way we portray people in media. Is like you say, is women in media would have suffered horribly, and this is an example of like, oh, they're ugly. Oh, give them glasses, and when they take them off, they're suddenly stunning. And the same with like, I suppose this probably goes on to the James Bond films. We've got a villain. Okay, we'll give him some sort of disfigurement or disability. That makes him bad. Where's that come from?
Yeah, he's that angry with life, isn't he? He's that yeah. Let's put him in a let's give him a disability and put him in a wheelchair because he's really angry that there's no ramp access outside Fort Knox, isn't there? You know, like it's like now he's going to take no, that's not right.
It's not is it disgusting and unfair and cruel, but it's boring on film as well. It's boring. Why can't we just make these characters awesome?
Yeah,
as they are.
Well, that definitely was cool. We went subterranean there, didn't we? We went right off on a tangent. But bringing us back in the room, one thing I've got to say is that we're in the Batcave with Batman, and I noticed he's using Windows 97 as his operating system. I've got to be honest with you. He's going to need some updates on that later on, isn't he? Yeah, that's not going to pay off. That wasn't a good investment. Windows 98 is literally around the corner.
He writes up his daily reports on Word.
Yeah.
I did beat up a bad guy.
We get, obviously, Alfred is back, isn't he? He's the same actor, isn't he?
I think so, yeah. Michael Gough.
Michael Gough, isn't it? Yeah. He's come back. He's been in all of them so far, hasn't he? He's quite a regular in this, but he's not feeling too well in this, is he?
No, he's got a bit of an illness, which is the same illness that Mr. Freeze's wife has, isn't it? And she's sort of freeze cryogenically. And this is his whole backstory we get from the film, is that his wife's unwell, so he froze her cryogenically so he could try and heal her. And then we learn that it's the same illness that has now got Alfred, which is obviously going to tie in a bit later on in terms of the plot.
Yeah.
And trying to find a cure.
And which moves on to Mr. Freeze's sort of backstory, really, is that, yes, he's a man who needs a respirator and things to survive.
Diamonds
and
got Paris suit.
Yeah. I got to be honest with you, as a fan of the comic books and stuff, Mr. Freeze was only just like a bit character, really. He was introduced very short in the comics, very many years ago, back in the day. He was then reintroduced as a full living flesh character in the 1960s Batman, but only for one episode. He was. So it was weird when they announced that he's going to be Mr. Freeze. It was like, well, Mr. Freeze has actually had a complete overhaul in the comics by 1997. He'd been turned into this kind of weird anti-hero where like he was doing it he was doing the wrong things, but for the right reasons, if that makes any sense. He was trying to save his wife, but obviously he was robbing banks and obviously probably hurting people as well along the way, all because he was absolutely blind focused on saving his wife, which made him quite an interesting character.
That is interesting. Like, it's a good way of portraying it, and I think this film, it hints towards that without really getting it right, because like it does hint like he's doing it because he wants to save her life and that sort of thing. I get that, but then it's the whole evil quips and quite happy to freeze and kill everyone. That, I mean, I get people like in the course it might be a bit cholesterol. Some people might get hurt. Some people might die. But he's just in this one. He's just a mass murderer.
Which then leads down the road that we go, well, we don't really... I mean, they do. When he freezes people, doesn't he? We get little moments where I think Batman puts like a little thawing machine thing, doesn't he? A little puck, doesn't he, on the thing, and it like thaws out.
Never-ending gadgets for precisely.
You've got a gadget for everything. But earlier on the film, though, we didn't do that for any of the other people. They're all sort of frozen and done. We're on the fence about Mr. Freeze in this film. They haven't really... I don't think they've done the character very well at all. I think they've just used him as a antagonist. They've tried to do he's doing it for these reasons, and we're going to give him some redemption. But realistically, I just don't think he's a great character in the comics.
Yeah, and it's not sort of written as well here. Yeah, there's just issues here with many of the characters. I mean, in it, throughout everything, Alfred's always been like, Batman's, guardian, parent, I suppose, assistant, helper, confidant, all that sort of thing. In this, what I've discovered is that Alfred is a dick to Bruce Wayne. Because there's one line, and I have to rewind the film, because I have to make sure I had it correct, when Alfred says to Bruce Wayne, bearing in mind, Bruce Wayne was a young boy when his parents were shot in front of him, killing his family and orphaning him. Alfred goes, "You're still just a novice in the ways of family." Yes, he has none. Of course he's a novice. He hasn't got one. Why would Alfred bring that up? What a nasty thing to say.
Awful, isn't it?
Yeah. Trauma-inducing.
Trauma-inducing it is.
And then other bits that talk about the probably the most random bit of the film, potentially, is then we have a scene where Mr. Freeze is conducting his goons to sing a Christmas carol.
I think so, or something like that. Yeah, there's a little jolty tune on, isn't there, in the background or something, isn't there?
My gasters were flabbered. It was unbelievable, absolutely flabbergasting. That
we definitely turned up in a different film by this point.
I don't know what. It doesn't make
flabbergasted.
It doesn't make any sense. Why is he conducting a concert? And then I also noticed all of his little henchman-y goony people are freezing cold, because he's got his little ice palace, should we call it, where he lives, so he can live in like freezing coldness, because that's what he needs to survive. I'm assuming this is not their first day on the job. You can put more layers on.
Yeah, or just not be in there where he is, because if you look at Mr. Freeze's...
You could get a telephone.
Yeah.
Right, Mr. Freeze, what do you want from us? As you're sat in your nice radiated room next door. They don't need to be in there with him.
He's not... He's got all these people working for him, and this is where I get really sort of slightly angry with the character portrayal. Is because if you want to do the Mr. Freeze story and do it, he works alone. His machine and his bodysuit that he's got is a force to be reckoned with. It really is. It's one that no one can stop him. Like, sort of thing. It's like bulletproof. It's like, it's so he can go in and go out, get the money from the bank, leave, and leave everybody frozen. Because secretly he doesn't want to kill them. He's just freezing them. Yeah. And only he knows how to get them out of it, But we're not doing that. We're doing the whole Joker, henchman, palace, den/lair.
They're kind of weird, aren't they? 'Cause then they've got their weapons are just hockey sticks. It's not exactly a menacing concept. They will have roller skates.
It looks very all over the place, and it doesn't really make any sense. And talking about all over the place, we're going to add to the character roster, aren't we? We introduce a very young Alicia Silverstone. I say young, she's not that young. I say Alicia Silverstone, who turns up as Alfred's niece, which is wrong. That's not in the comic books. Actually, as Barbara Gordon. It's Barbara, isn't she? But she's supposed to be Barbara Gordon, so... Yeah.
I mean, even the Lego Batman film got that right.
Yeah. They did, didn't they?
It was a good film, that is.
Yeah. As I say, technically she's supposed to be Commissioner Gordon's daughter, and sometimes she's been played as his niece in it. And there's a nice little bit of legacy, her character and everything, how she becomes and what she does. And if you ever read the comic, I thoroughly recommend listening. What do you do with a comic? You read the damn thing, don't you? This film has got me in a tongue-tied twist.
Literally melted our brains.
It is. So yeah, I mean, she's in school uniform, bit weird because she's like 21 years old. Don't understand that. Robin, obviously played by Chris O'Donnell, isn't it? I mean, he's having conflicts with Batman.
All
you know,
he's done is
and tantrums.
Oh God, he's such a.
I mean, I'm not being funny. He's 27. Get a grip, man. Yeah,
Grow up.
Yeah, he's not really the boy wonder, I would say. I mean, Clooney was only 38 when he made this. So they're only not that much older than Chris O'Donnell. And just when you think we can't add any more to the character roster, we get random model Elle Macpherson turn up, who is George Clooney's love interest.
Yeah.
Blink, you miss it on the screen.
Pretty much.
Elle Macpherson. Crazy. What the hell? But I think she said about one line.
There wasn't a lot going for her, was there, in the
And
film?
she was not in it anymore. We just forgot about her.
Apart from that, she was pretty much just an extra. Well, she just turns up in some scenes.
I mean, the
with
extras probably had more lines than that. The guys with the hockey sticks probably had more to do than that.
Some of them did.
Yeah.
Yeah, some stuff's going on. Bruce is donating some sort of telescope that's going to become relevant later on. Yeah, I don't really know what that was about.
Yeah, that's the end of that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I will say one thing is that the amount of parties that we're going
there's
to
loads of
and
parties.
sort of, you know, invitation to things that are about to be opened. You know, I think there's about 3 altogether in the whole film. We're always going to a banquet or to a charity event of some description, aren't we? And we go there about 3 times.
There's a charity event because he's donating this telescope to the observatory, which has some sort of meaning. I think was it something to do directing the sun? Don't know. And then we got this sort of weird tribal sort of style party that Bruce Wayne and Dick Grayson, his when he's not Robin, go to. Where maybe now this is the most random scene. Hard to tell because there's so much random things going on. We get what I can only word as a gorilla costume striptease in what is probably one of the most disturbing things I've ever watched.
It's absolutely weird, isn't it? You
couldn't
write it.
And it's Poison Ivy doing it, isn't it?
Yeah. And then she comes out in all her full reveal of like, I've now bought some spandex and put a wig on. I don't know. It looks very, and it's no discredit to children's Saturday afternoon TV or whatever, but it reminds me so much of that very low budget British kids TV program.
Yeah.
Like, it's clearly cardboard and plastic, the set. It's clearly the suits very handmade to whatever they could get their hands on.
Yeah.
With a sticker on or something like that, and it looks like that. And I keep thinking all the way through this film, and I know the film is getting a hard time from us at the moment, isn't it?
Is it?
I mean, the understatement of the world, isn't it? But I'm trying to sort of get a look on this because the reason I chose this film is because of that, because it was so awful when I watched it, the first time, and it got put away, in a box and hidden away. And never to be watched again, and with doing the podcast, you sit there and you think, let's dig this out. Come on, did I not get it? Was I missing something that I couldn't see that somebody else could see? And I wanted someone to say, Ross, you don't get it.
But that's it. Sometimes you just don't get a film when you first watch it, and later on, after a bit of time, you get wiser, a bit more.
Yeah.
You learn more, you know more, and then you go back and you go, I'm with it now. There's
just so many continuity issues, so many. Everything is just. It just keeps going one after the other. I found when I was watching this, I couldn't stop writing. I had to stop because I was missing the film. But I was I'd write everything. It is everything, even down to like there's a scene where Mr. Freeze is watching a home movie and it's his wife putting on a necklace. He's in the movie as well. I could ask you the question: who's filming it? You're in it. She's in it.
Wedding photographer, maybe something like that.
What, in their house? He had a dressing gown on, for Christ's sake.
Oh, yeah.
They're in their bedroom. And that's what I mean. There's so many weird stuff that just completely thrown out that you just go, yeah, we'll do that. No one sat there and went, who's filming it? Freaky. Did you just have a cameraman following him around all day? Documentarian. A whole film crew in his house, like tripping over the mat as with a boom mic and
act casual, love. Yeah. I mean, and then we get. Did you see the little when Bruce Wayne goes to pay for something, he has the back card.
No, but the back card does come into force, doesn't it? Where, I mean, it even makes a cha-ching, doesn't it, noise when he puts it in front of puts it in front of the screen.
Yeah, mega cheese that is.
I use this Visa.
Imagine your stinkiest cheese. That's what that bit is.
Ah, it's awful, isn't it? That one, I think.
The expiry date on it says forever.
Forever. Oh god.
I'm pretty sure he doesn't have like endless money. I know he's rich, but he doesn't have that much.
Yeah. So is it expired forever, or is it forever to be expired?
I didn't read into it that much.
Weird joke.
I'm sorry.
I'm going to take another little sidestep again, Tom. I am. This film is really making me do this.
I've noticed.
Right, so I'm going to fly off to the left again, right? And are you aware of such films as the Carry On films, the British Carry On films?
Yes, I am.
Ah, cool. Those out there that remember the Carry On films, they were very much a 70s British cheeky comedy, weren't they? That was out there. Although they were certainly defined as cheeky. Now, watching them, I would say there's a slight undertone that's a bit not great, and at ages about as good as milk. When we get with the lines that we're getting, I mean, at one point, Poison Ivy turns around and says, "Oh, why don't you come home with me and we can sow your wild oats?" You know, it's like, Jesus Christ, what the hell is this? And I suddenly I was expecting Sid James from the Carry On films to pop up and start doing some little one-liner cracking off a few cheeky scoundrel, cheeky chappy quotes. Because it wouldn't have it wouldn't have been out of place in this film, I've got to be honest with you.
No.
It would have slid right in there. But yeah, I mean, we talked about the credit card. We said about
Mr. Freeze arrives again, doesn't he? Because there's another fight. This is what I find weird. Freeze arrives with his goons, his henchmen, his troops. Batman and Robin go and fight the goons and leave the venue security to go and fight Mr. Freeze. Seems a bit backwards to me.
Yeah.
Like, that doesn't make any sense. Why would Batman look at it and go, "There's the problem. I'm going to go and fight this random dude with a hockey stick and let that poor security guard go and fight that man who's going to freeze him to death"?
I didn't feel that Batman and Robin actually did anything.
No. They sort of walked around, didn't they?
They walked around, they cracked funnies, walked around, punched I can't even remember them seeing them punching anyone or actually fighting anyone. It's almost like someone said, "Oh, no, we can't have any fighting in this." That would be wrong. Yeah.
He drives off, doesn't he? Because then he drives around with these huge statues in Gotham.
Yeah.
When I say huge statues, we're talking like skyscraper-sized statues, aren't we?
These are they're like nothing on earth would be anywhere close, wouldn't it? It would make the Statue of Liberty look like a Kinder Egg toy, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
It would, they are massive, isn't it? And everything has a big arm, and we get a little chase scene, don't we? Very heavily early CGI, isn't it? And it takes you out a little bit, but that's not their fault to a certain point anyway. So Robin goes at the same time, and Robin's not happy, is he? He's just never happy, is he?
He's just a whiny bitch.
Whinging.
He's just all he does is moan about stuff.
Yeah.
He's moan about teamwork. Moans because he loves Poison Ivy. Wants a car. Shut up.
Yeah.
It's so boring.
And it's so he's like, stop whining. He's letting you live in your house. Look how rich you are.
Absolute freeloader.
Yeah, he is, isn't he? He's coming across as an absolute spoilt brat freeloader, which makes him go off and have a little race, doesn't it? In with a bunch of punks. Well, I don't know, in downtown Gotham.
Actually, oh god, it's Barbara, isn't it? She's going off and sneaking off, stealing one of Bruce Wayne's motorbikes to go and do this race, and he sneaked off as well to go with her to sort of see what she's up to. Because then we get like one of the most random cameos of all time.
Oh man,
which is Coolio.
Yeah.
Rest his soul.
The man himself.
And apparently that was meant to set up for the next film, because there was plans for follow-up films after this. So that was meant to set up Scarecrow.
Scarecrow. Dr. Crane himself.
Yeah.
Played by Coolio, a gangster motorbike organiser. That just tells you how absolutely so far they'd gone. Anything was available on the table, wasn't it? It was just... In the Warner Brothers studio, they must, on the briefing table, they must have said, put everything on the table, it can all be used.
Yeah, and they did.
All of it is, yeah. So we talked about the scene, we talked about some of the CGI, the big, weird buildings and stuff. So there's a secret disc, isn't there? I think we need to talk about this. Our old timer Alfred, he's had time to put together a little PowerPoint presentation complete with animation and everything, hasn't he? Well done, Alfred. Not as old fuddy-duddy as he looks like. He's well up on the old tech. And to do that on Windows 97, hours. Would have taken hours, wouldn't it? Like, just to render stuff.
He's had time.
He's had time. He got nothing else to do while they're all out doing the stuff. Robin's gone slightly solo, to be honest. Him. We don't really care. No, I don't care at this moment. I mean, lucky Bruce Wayne. At least he can get on with it now, can't he? And just do his own thing.
What has this film done to us, man?
I know. I'm exhausted from it. It really was. I didn't think it was going to be like this. I honestly thought, well, hopefully we might have. I thought actually we might have a good time with it, and just go. Yeah. Well, do you know what? It is what it is. It is a bit silly. It's stupid. It's not really anything to do with the other ones.
It's fun.
But do you know what? I just sat there and watched it and thought, that's all right. But it's not. It's eating away at me. I don't like it. Yeah, and we're building up. I mean, we're already at the end now. Believe it or not, thank God. Is that we've got this big telescope and it's freezing everything, and somehow we need to change the polarity or we need to do something. And there's just a lot of flipping and jumping around, isn't there? There's a lot of, a million batarangs and a million, grappling guns, isn't there? It seems like one's going off every 5 minutes, isn't it?
A bit of a cluster of them, isn't there? Just all going on.
Yeah. Sort of Barbara's joined in. She's now kind of officially Batgirl. And we have time. Somewhere before the big finale, we have time for another suit change. I don't know if you noticed, didn't we?
Well, I did notice.
With a kind of silver off-cut shoulder look, isn't it? And it's... Right, okay. When do we have time to do that? Did we?
Also, it's not a very.
She's only just got that suit.
It's not very dramatic, is it? Of like how she's come to be. He's just like, I figured you'd want to help Batman. She goes, yeah. He went, cool. Well, I've made you a suit. How boring is that?
I know.
Naff. You've got a really cool character in Batwoman or Batgirl, is it? Batgirl, isn't it?
Batgirl, yeah.
Really cool character, and that's her introduction to this universe.
I think we've been spoiled over the years after this, to be honest with you. And going back to this was a tough watch. But yeah, and I mean, to end it off at the end, I think Batman is falling. I think Batgirl and Robin have managed to perch themselves on some sort of ledge. And as the scientists and the whole thing's all falling down, you get the sense that Batman needs to save the day and save them. What's he going to do? Well, Robin replies, they say, oh, what are we going to do? And Robin replies, pray. That's what he says. Pray.
That's very superhero-y, isn't it?
Yeah, so we're just going to, on pure chance, we're going to hope that he's all right. Oh, and he is all right. There we go. He managed to fire another grappling hook and get himself out of it, which proves how absolutely useless they all are. There you go. I'll finish by saying, toilet, the whole thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, I mean, the whole fights, they go on, don't they? And then you get Mr. Freeze's redemption, don't you? Because he gives the cure to Alfred. Well, he gives it to Batman.
Well, there's some kind of redemption. They're trying to do it, aren't they?
He's all fine. Everyone goes to prison. Alfred lives.
And they all have a little hand in a circle, don't they? Don't they?
That was
all
awful.
Together. I think, does Alfred say at the end, we're going to need a bigger bat cave? Or something like that. And I felt like shouting to him in the corridor and going, what you need is Windows 2000, mate, because you need to sort that out, because you're never going to survive on that Windows 97 ever. No. Update your operating system. There you go, Batman and Robin. Well, as you would guess, listeners. I mean, I hated this film. I couldn't stand it. I was so, I don't even know where to begin. I'm speechless. Disappointed. Took a bunch of beloved characters and comics from the comics and characters that I love, and just absolutely minced it in a blender, completely.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it's hard to really sum this up because it was just so all over the place. with things that shouldn't be there, not focusing on the right things. The execution was just poor. Ultimately,
Yeah.
it was just poor.
Overall, it was a cash grab. You can see that of its character allocation to the various different stars of the time. They're popular. They're forced. All the plot is forced. Everything is forced. Batman is a cameo in his own film.
Yeah.
Technically, I mean, it says Batman and Robin, but we didn't really see very much of Batman,
No.
and he didn't really do a lot.
No, it wasn't,
And to be honest with you, either did George Clooney do a lot for it at all. He didn't even make it something he could have done. I mean, yeah, it's not great. And I think going over this again, I think it's a really bad entry in a franchise. I think it really is.
Well, there was plans to do more, and they actually ended up not doing that as a result of this.
I'm not surprised. It got absolutely slated. And it still gets slated now. I mean, we're slating it. But I was hoping that when we chose it, hopefully there was a little bit of shining light in there. There was a little bit of something I could grab onto. And unfortunately, even when the credits ran, where the theme song was sung by R. Kelly, who we now who's in prison for heinous crimes, that summed it up. That did at the end. I went, yeah.
Yep.
That's the last nail in the coffin, that was, at the very end. I couldn't even get through the credits. Yeah. I think when we get to the end of this, with exception to the animated series and the comics, we will not see Batman, or another incarnation of Batman, until sometime in 2005. It's a long way off.
A long way.
Where we'll get Chris Nolan's Batman Begins, which will certainly restore our faith, whether you like it or not, isn't it? Maybe for another podcast to restore our
Could
faith
well be.
in Batman. But I mean, this is a tough one. Do you, Tom, out of this absolute show of a movie, do you have anything that you love about it? Is there anything that was good in it?
Do you know what, I'm actually genuinely struggling. I
struggled. I struggled.
Um,
There's got to be something.
might want to pause recording here while I try.
I won't. I'll do it later.
I think if I'm going to really stretch, I liked Mr. Freeze's redemption at the end. I think it kind of, if it had been executed properly, it would have been a really good arc. But I did like that they still kept in that he had a little bit of redemption at the end and decided to help Batman, and sort of saw, oh, okay, I can work with him, as opposed to I hate him because he's the Batman and he's stopping my things. I kind of liked that. If that had been done throughout the whole portrayal, it would be really quite good. But I think that at the end it was like, yeah, it's kind of nice to see that it wasn't just pure villain.
Yeah, I think I struggled as well. I mean, I picked out at random. We forgot to mention him, actually, because in the Poison Ivy scene, we get what is a mad scientist played by a John Glover.
Oh, yes, we do.
And I always love everything John Glover's in. He always brings it. And even in this, I think he's bringing it 100%. He's really imboiled. He's been told to play it like this, and he's playing it. You know, and it's always good to see him, but only as an actor. I always like to see him turn up in things. He brings a little smile to my face. I love him. But
I suppose you must come on to the official flame rating.
The official flame rating.
Would you like to go first?
God, I mean, it's a first. It's the first, listeners.
Oh, hello.
It's a 0. It's Ash. Our first ever Ash. There's no flame. I don't want to watch this again. I don't like it. I want to put it in a box and lock it and then bury it in the garden, because I know I have managed to get all this time and kind of forget about it and pretend it doesn't exist. If I want to enjoy Batman, I watch Batman Returns. I don't watch Batman Forever. I don't watch Batman and Robin. No way. If I want to watch Batman, watch the Nolan trilogy. You know, get stuck into that. Very nice. Hell, even our Zack Snyder's rebirth of it with
Ben Affleck.
Ben Affleck. Even that is better than this. You know, and that has its flaws. Whoever had it didn't appreciate the characters, didn't love the characters, and certainly didn't understand them. But it was a cash grab. Now, whose fault that is it Joel Schumacher's, the director? Is it somebody else, or is it just the film company, wanting to get this out very quickly, get stars in it, and make a fast buck? And it is a fast buck. But it could have made even more money, if they just sat and thought about it a little bit. But I think we're on a downward spiral. I'll always think that from Batman Forever. I never liked that film, and I still don't. So I always know that this one was never going to be great. So there you go. It's the first ever Ash rating from me. It is literally crumbled in my fingers, like.
And the funny thing is, it's the same for me.
Oh, wow, listeners. God.
For me, the bit that sold it to me was the fact that I had to take a break watching this film because I just couldn't stand watching it. It was so painful to watch it. And I don't want to take that away from the people who would have worked so hard to make it. I felt awful. And the actors who would have, gone there and, portraying their class and their talents in the roles. But the film itself is so... I mean, the fact that even George Clooney, he's been known to... Joel Schumacher and George Clooney have been known to apologise for this. George Clooney's been known to refund people who saw this film.
Refund? What, actually physically? Like, I can imagine him standing outside a cinema.
Money back.
Handing out a few dollars.
And I think that's what says it all. There's just... I can't take anything positive from this.
He was never a fan, was he? It's renowned. He is in interviews, isn't he? With talking to him and interviewing him, they always ask him about it, and he's very reluctant to talk about it and very reluctant to give anything but praise. And even he says it is wrong. Even he said he was the wrong one to be chosen for it, But there you go. We will see him, though, believe it or not, reprise his role as Batman. And certainly as Bruce Wayne. I don't know if you know this, if you've seen it. The Flash film that came out, which was connected to the previous DC universe, the Flash changes time, he does, and a little nod and a wink and a bit of a funny. He opens the door to go and speak to Bruce Wayne, and George Clooney stands out, and he realises that he has changed time, and obviously, or he's in the wrong universe. So that was good. George Clooney turning up for that, and sort of nodding that I can have a joke. So well done, George, on that one. So that was, oh my good lord, that was the first ever Ash rating. I don't want that to make a normal thing. That's not good, is it?
Gosh.
Good Lord, let's try and get out of that. But that was franchise fatigue as a theme. That was our last one in this theme. Oh, my God. I mean, it's been a roller coaster, this one, hasn't it? It's been up and down all over the place. But the clue's in the title, isn't it? It's Are We Fatigued?
I think it's fair to say at this point, yes.
Nobody wanted any more, and we certainly didn't get any more for nearly 10 years, did we, after this? So definitely everybody had had enough of that, and we'd had enough of it too. However, though, what we haven't had enough of is going on to our next... and we're going to go slightly off script, aren't we, again?
We are, yeah. There is no theme for the next one as such. It's more to celebrate a potential summer blockbuster coming out. We're going to go back to a look at another sort of famous Greek story... with 2004's Troy.
Nearly 3,000 years ago, the passion for one woman ignited the greatest battle ever fought for love.
I want her back. Will you go to war with me, brother?
We're sending the largest fleet that ever sailed.
We need the greatest warrior. Achilles can't be controlled.
Be careful, King of Kings. First, you need the victory.
I won't ask you to fight my war. You already have.
No son of Troy will ever submit to a foreign ruler.
Then every son of Troy shall die. We will be together in this world or the next.
Immortality!
We'll be seeing if Achilles' heel is healed up and seeing if Athena's got all the knowledge. Who knows? What we can remember is you can follow us on YouTube and you follow us on Spotify and keep up to date on all the upcoming themes and episodes on Instagram. Follow the link, send us a comment, let us know what you think and everything. But certainly, you know what we think about Batman and Robin. And on that note, it's goodbye from me.
And it's goodbye from me.